The long-awaited continuation of the Metal Gear Solid franchise is one, guys, that I, for one, and I know many of you out there, would love to see a continuation. The difference, though, I think for many of us is that even though Konami very well and very likely will continue this franchise in one capacity or another, it doesn't sound like we will be seeing, Hideo Kojima. Or will we? That's the big question, guys, for the day is, will we see Metal Gear Solid 6 at some point or another? And who's going to helm it? Is it going to be Hideo Kojima or someone else? So let's talk about it. So, guys, we've talked about Metal Gear Solid, the future of this franchise. We talked about the past, present. You guys can check out all that content here on the YouTube channel. But I think that Metal Gear Solid 6 is certainly a game that we want to see happen. I believe, the relationship between Kojima and Konami, that's split very poorly. And I know Sony is trying to bring the two back together in a number of ways to try to get them to, kind of work together on a new Silent Hill game, or at least, finish what they started with Silent Hills, and even talks of doing Metal Gear Solid 6. So with that, guys, I think that Konami, regardless if you get Kojima or not, I believe that they are going to continue this franchise. Now, the last memory that we have in our minds of Metal Gear is Metal Gear Survive, which was pretty bad overall. I mean, the general reception, just the sales were just pretty bad all the way around, guys, and there's no really getting around it. Now, there were some who did enjoy it, but I think the vast majority of people did not enjoy that title. So many people are calling for Hideo Kojima to return. I'm one of those people. I would love to see him return at least one more time. Obviously he's, coming off of Death Stranding. I would love to see him work on Metal Gear Solid 6. I would personally rather see him work on Silent Hills or, finish that, because that was like pretty much the next project he was going to be working on with Konami before they split. So I would love to see Silent Hills, and then following that, maybe a very last Metal Gear Solid game that he could kind of pass the torch from, him to someone else. Like he kind of handpicks the next director and things of that nature, the next team to work on the future of Metal Gear. Because here's the thing, guys, Hideo is not going to work on every title, of this franchise moving forward. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So he wants to work on other things, that being like Death Stranding, maybe a Death Stranding 2, Silent Hills, who knows what else. There's just other things that he's going to be working on. So with that being said, I think that the sour taste in our mouth that we have from Metal Gear Survive, I would love to see, him kind of rewrite the ship and point it in the right direction, pass the torch on to someone else, and then they can carry on. And I don't think they might never be as good as the previous games, that being, like Phantom Pain and things of that nature, but they still very well might be good. Now, even if Hideo, here's the other thing, if Hideo doesn't want to be the creative director for, Metal Gear Solid 6, maybe he can be like an assistant or something of that nature, where he can be like an executive producer or something, where he's able to, kind of give his 2 cents and his kind of creative vision to help out the director, but it's not going to be as time consuming for him, like the day-to-day of Metal Gear Solid 6. So it really depends on if that relationship is mended between Konami and Kojima. That leads us to, will there be a Metal Gear Solid 6? I do think there will, guys. Regardless of whether that relationship is mended or not, I believe that Konami has every thought in their mind, at least, to continue this franchise. Because look, at the end of the day, Metal Gear is a pretty significant brand. I mean, it's not massive like Call of Duty or something, but it's still a pretty big brand that, Kojima really built. And so I think Konami, they would, it would be irresponsible almost to even to not continue this franchise. So I do believe that they will. Now, whether or not, if Kojima is not there, whether or not they decide, it's any good is yet to be seen. I don't see you getting much worse than Metal Gear Survive, though. So I feel like it would be all uphill from here. Look, guys, at the end of the day, I say this all the time. It takes one game in a franchise to, really take us into a dark place, like the dark ages of an IP or of a franchise. But then all it takes is one game to bring you right back to where you kind of left off, or where you were hitting those peaks, so to speak. So I believe that Metal Gear Survive was kind of the first, game for Konami, by themselves without Hideo Kojima at the helm to make a game, and we saw what happened, right? But if you give them the benefit of the doubt, usually it takes a developer a couple of games to get it right? When you lose people or whatever the case might be. Look at Halo. Obviously from Bungie to 343 Industries, 343, they struggled at first, and now they're trying to kind of rewrite their ship with Halo Infinite. Look at Gears of War. It went from Epic Games to the Coalition, and there was definitely some shakiness there at first, but at the end of the day, now they're moving in a great direction. So give Konami some time. Do I think that's going to be as good, like they'll be able to make a game as good as what Hideo Kojima did with, Metal Gear Solid 5, like the Phantom Pain and such? Probably not. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think they could still make a solid story. They could create a full package for us with multiplayer, co-op modes, and a full-blown campaign that brings us back over and over again. I just think, guys, that there's definitely a possibility. And I think Konami would be irresponsible for them not to continue this franchise moving forward. So with that, guys, do I think we'll see it? Yes, I think we're going to get a Metal Gear Solid 6 at some point or another. When is a whole nother thing. I'm hoping it's with Kojima at the helm, but there's a high likelihood that it won't be him there. And it's going to be somebody else. And, I just hope that they learned from their mistakes with Metal Gear Survive. They learned what they did right, which wasn't much. They learned what they did wrong, which was a lot. And they now learn what they can do different moving forward to kind of move this, series back on an upward trend. But with that, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you think we'll get a Metal Gear Solid 6? Or do you think the only way we would get it is if Hideo Kojima himself is there? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Metal Gear Solid 6 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.